The opinions, viewpoints, and beliefs presented on this program do not necessarily reflect those of the management, the affiliates and broadcast partners, or the sponsors. Listener discretion is advised.
Scarefest Radio, the radio you can see.
And hello and good evening, everyone, and welcome to another fun-filled edition of Scarefest TV. I'm your host, Wes Forsyth. I'm joined tonight by Mr. Chad Harlan, who I didn't frame up, so I gotta fix that here in just a second. We were sitting here chatting, and why is it anything? Well, I had that fixed. Let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and fix this so that everybody can see Chad.
Good evening, everybody, while he's doing that. Great to be here.
Let's see here. Whoops. Professional. Absolutely professional. Well, that should be right. Let's see. Nope. Now, why is that doing that?
It's not my fault this time.
Nope. If I hadn't wasted all that time. I got nothing cropped. That is so weird. Oh, there it is. Ah, found it. And welcome everybody to Scarefest TV. Here's the co-host Chad Harlan's lovely photo. I had the wrong frame up, and I was working with the right frame. So anyway, little inside baseball stuff there. And here's the lovely view of the two of us. Everybody, what we're doing tonight, we've got a bunch more speaker announcements. We've got now this is still not all inclusive. So if you say, I turned mine in, why didn't I get picked? They are still reviewing the ones that were turned in during the month of June. So there's a few of them that will not be on here. But speaker announcements are now closed. If you didn't get your application in, suck it. So, we got that. We got two celebrity announcements tonight. And, so, Chad, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, and I'm excited about this speaker lineup we're going to be talking about. It's great to see some familiar faces and also some new blood, so I'm looking forward to hearing all of them.
Just looking through here, I think everybody we've got tonight has spoken at Scarefest except for one, and she was supposed to speak 2 years ago, and she had to cancel because she's a long way from home. Everybody in the chat room, we will be monitoring you. We're just going to relax and have fun tonight. And I brought my invisible cup. So, now I didn't do fancy banners for tonight. What I have is, I have my email from Amber Truax, who is, of course, the seminar director. And, so we're just going to start off. He's usually in the chat room. He can tell us a little bit about in the chat room about what he's talking about. Alan Marston. Alan Marston is our first. He's a return speaker. He's like the president of paranormal or some god awful shit like that. He's actually, he's speaking this time though. I think this is his second speech. I think he already turned in one about seminar about some serial killer.
I think so.
Yep, but St. Albans Sanatorium. St. Albans Sanatorium. Yeah, there's Alan in the chat room. He's also going to be speaking about his passion, his love, the paranormal, I'm sure. St. Albans Sanatorium. Now here, everybody, this is what I deal with on Scarefest TV, though. Sometimes I actually get what they're speaking about. Sometimes I get a biography. For Alan, it says, he's speaking again, St. Albans Sanatorium. You already have all of Alan's stuff. That's That is Alan's bio, everyone. You already have all of Alan's stuff.
We all know Alan, so
Yeah.
actually, I will tell this, that Alan is the person who talked me into giving my first lecture at Scarefest. After talking to him and seeing one of his, he convinced me to develop one. So I'm here today because Alan convinced me to, make a really bad decision at the end of the day. But
I'll confess. Now, if I wasn't so damn busy, I love speaking at Scarefest. I hate preparing to speak at Scarefest. I generally don't prepare to speak at Scarefest. When I did my first zombie apocalypse speech, I literally just read the damn thing. I was totally unprepared. But that evolved into the zombie apocalypse Q&A, which was a hit, except when I described shooting a family of skunks. That did not go over well. So yeah,
I enjoy it too, but it's getting more and more to where it's hard to squeeze that into the schedule of that weekend. So
that's what I tell them. They always ask me about doing the bad tarot gallery, and I love doing that. But I say, give everybody else a shot. If somebody pulls at the last minute, or you can't, I will fill in. But there's just so many moving parts, and I have a funny feeling this time I'm going to need more grease than ever, because somehow I keep moving up the food chain. Hey, you haven't heard? Did you hear about my latest? I've had 2 promotions at Scarefest.
Congratulations!
Yeah, the two times ago I was promoted to Nicole's husband somehow because she left a comma out of an email. And then most recently, with actually speaking with tonight's guest, I believe, gosh, let me pull up that email. I want to see, what was it she called me?
I've called you a lot of things.
Yeah.
So have I.
No, okay, that's the one I look for. I have copied my husband. No, that's the one, she did use the word "and" in that one. Our main man who assists with all things Scarefest. That is now what I'm going to have put on my business cards. Main man who assists with all things Scarefest.
We need a t-shirt at least.
Did your head get any bigger?
It just... After years of being the redheaded stepchild of the horror convention, it is nice to finally get some recognition.
Be careful.
Yeah, well, did you notice he's imitating? He's got the lion shirt. If you look really close, now on my big 4K screen up here, comes through real clear. He's got a little chin stubble. Stubble.
Only took me a month.
It's a that's the you could, I tell you what, you pay for the operation, you can take the hair off of my back and have it grafted onto your face, and you'll have a full beard. How's that?
It wouldn't match the hair on my back then.
Of course, like everybody knows, see, last week, it's not showing up as bad. I shaved my beard last week, or trimmed it really short, and I had these pockets of Just for Men left over. I think last time I used it was the last time that I interviewed Tiffany Shepis, because I wanted to look all suave and debonair. So last week I interviewed her again, but this time I just trimmed my beard, and sure enough, there are 2 big dark spots under there. Okay, we're going to move on now. This is our next speaker is someone we've had on the show about 2 years ago when she had to cancel from Scarefest. She could not make the trip at the last minute. Big disappointment. And this year, Danny Bailey, follow her on Instagram. She's hot. Danny Bailey, a man from Alaska. Washara County. No, I don't know where he's, yeah. A man from Washara County. A new take on Ed Gein by utilizing facts from the case through the years of research and by stories passed down by the family who worked the case. The presentation will be accompanied by artifacts from the crime scene.
I just watched a documentary on Ed Gein, so I'm anxious to see this one too. It's kind of where I've been focusing some of my energy right now is watching serial killer stuff. So I'm sure this is going to be an incredibly interesting presentation.
Now, we'll don't get too deep into it. I was getting deep into all that stuff. I was watching, which my thing was the shitty trials some of the people had lately. But Anita one day just slams down her fist and goes, "This is so damn depressing," and so I stopped watching all that stuff. But
she wouldn't like my podcast that I listen to during when I'm driving. Then
are you getting into all that true crime stuff?
Getting into some of that. Listen, got my normal paranormal updates, but I've got a couple of true crime that I listen to, and yeah, they get a little dark.
I should go back and listen to the podcast. I have it. I just don't have time. I don't have time, and my tractor doesn't even have a good radio in it that I can listen to AM radio and listen to all the right-wing nut jobs.
That's what noise-canceling headphones are for. That's what I wear when I'm mowing grass.
No, you don't understand. You don't understand. I get one station. We have a local AM station that it will pick up.
Download it to your phone.
You do not under my phone. I can't even get the damn. We're hotspotting off my wife's because I can't even. Well, actually, it's my wife's. It runs over there. I can't even get it to charge. It's got so much dirt and stuff down in it. Anyway, everybody, if you don't know Danny Bailey is an accomplished poet and author whose first story can be found in Rebecca Rowland's anthology, Ghost, Goblins, Murder, and Madness, who is currently pursuing her career writing horror and suspense. She's a charter boat deckhand on the waters of the Gulf of Alaska, as well as a granddaughter of one of the game wardens who assisted in the famous Ed Gein case. She has spent years researching and reviewing the case itself, as well as her family's association with it. Now, see, the last time I watched a documentary about Ed Gein was when I had her on the show 2 years ago, because I wanted to know what I was talking about. Now, everybody, if you're wondering, Ed Gein is basically one of the main characters that Leatherface was based on, to give you an idea.
Buffalo Bill and...
Yeah. Because
so many characters are based off that archetype that he kind of created.
Yeah, if you're wondering what we're talking about, it's the skinning people alive and using their faces for masks and woman suits and stuff like that.
But I remember when she was scheduled to come before, I was really looking forward to see her. So I'm excited that we have another opportunity to get to see her presentation. I'm sure it's going to be amazing, especially with that familial connection.
Yeah, and a little note here. The reason we don't have a banner on this, that's the reason we don't have banners on these people. None of them have sent me photos. And it says she's asked 2 times for a photo. Danny, here's your ultimatum. Somebody get word to Danny. I don't see her in the chat room. Someone tell Danny that if she does not send us a publicity photo, I will go on Instagram and get one of your photos.
I thought you were going to threaten to use the one you used to use of me in the credits.
No, I wouldn't do that to her. I wouldn't do that to anybody except you. Yes, Facebook user. He was the one that was great with kids. Yes, he's a serial killer, but he's great with kids.
That's Tracy. Tracy is.
That was Tracy. My dashboard here doesn't always tell me the names. Okay, we bullshit our way up to the first commercial break. Oh, and I've got the mouse. That's my producer's way of saying you have the mouse. We'll be right back with more Scarefest TV. Everyone is talking about CBD oil. Most of us know that CBD is a cannabis compound that has significant medical benefits, but does not make people high. Its benefits include pain relief, anti-seizure properties, anxiety relief, fights cancer, reduces the risk of diabetes, and it is even used as a sleep aid. Blue Leaf Naturals CBD and hemp products are full-spectrum hemp extract oils.
They use only hemp grown in Kentucky, supporting Kentucky farmers and businesses and helping you and your family stay healthy and well. Blue Leaf Naturals, created with care from seed to shelf. Visit their website at blueleafnaturals.com. Blue Leaf Naturals, a Kentucky proud company.
Horror, movies, fans, for life. On Facebook, find us. For watch parties, for news, for memes, for friends, for life. Horror movie fans for life. Join us.
And welcome back, everybody, to Scarefest TV. While we were away at the commercial break, there was a little discussion in the chat room whether Ed Gein was a true serial killer, because they only know of 2 people that he killed, but he dug up graves and desecrated bodies. So here's the new rule. I looked it up, and if you make lampshades out of dead bodies' penis skin, you get the automatic honorary serial killer designation. So there, we'll settle that right here. So
the nipple belt doesn't qualify.
Yeah. The nipple belt is extra credit. The nipple, yeah, there was a lot of nipples on that belt, and you tell me you can dig up graves and find that many well-preserved nipples. Or
I
don't
think
tell
that's
me.
a valid point. I actually have not ever dug up a grave, so I don't know how long they last.
Nipples, a gift that just keeps on giving. Anyway, okay, everybody, here's a little news item. Crack open a Bloodweiser and put on your foofy Renaissance clothes. AMC Network has announced they will be adapting Anne Rice's Interview with the Vampire into an 8-part television series set to premiere next year. AMC has recently acquired the rights to all of the novels in Rice's catalog of Vampire Chronicles and Lives of the Mayfair Witch stories. So far, no other television adaptations have been announced. Hopefully, 1994 won't be wanting its vampire movie back. So there. Little news.
Well, that'll be interesting. I'm sure that they'll find a way to ruin that.
AMC's not really bad about ruining stuff. It's not like Sci-Fi Channel.
No, they've done pretty good.
Yeah, they've done pretty
good with their horror dalliances into horror and that sort of thing. So actually, it may be fairly well done.
We will
interested to see.
We will just have to wait and see on that. Okay, next. Now he's been on the show recently, not too long ago. Steve Coles will be back, and he'll be talking about Sasquatch, myth versus reality. Looking at myth versus reality in the Sasquatch mystery. Thanks for explaining that part, Steve. Debunking myths while providing the facts behind the mystery.
He's always great. I always look forward to what he has to say.
What is your opinion on Bigfoot? I don't think I've ever just come out and asked you. What's your opinion on Bigfoot?
I certainly see it as a very valid possibility. They find new creatures all the time. Now, some of the ideas out there behind them, I think I have a little harder time wrapping my head around as far as, telepathic communication and potential hybrids with aliens and dimensional creatures. I have a little harder time with that, but I'm very open to the idea that Sasquatch, Bigfoot, Yeti, etc., could be an undiscovered species.
I don't rule it out. But
I've heard him on the back of the farm.
What's that? Yeah, she heard something. Because there's no way a bull would howl. Anyway, I see the alien connection because they tend to be in places that people see a lot of UFO stuff. So that's why they made that connection. There's also, and then, like the intradimensional stuff. I mean, I don't rule anything out because I'm just so open-minded. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know anything at this point. We haven't found one. So I'm open to all of it. There's certain parts that are more plausible to me than others.
None of it's really plausible. You have to suspend disbelief. Let's face it. At this point in time, I just
found another extinct fish.
Ooh, a fish. Where'd they find that?
In a place where you would think you would have seen it before, with thousands of fishermen out every day.
Well, but it's not like nobody's building a cabin in the ocean. I mean, it's,
Well, I mean, there are those submarine things that kind of are moving cabins in the ocean.
Yeah. And that's what they're in there for. They're looking for fish. But since we touched on UFOs, has anybody, chat room, has anybody kept up with, did the world end today when they released the UFO findings? Today was the big day that the report was coming up from the Air Force and Navy and everybody about the UFOs. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Unidentified aerial phenomena. Yes. Because flying objects is just so yesterday. So 1990s.
Well, yeah, they can't admit, even if they're going to admit to something, they have to rename it so that they're not actually admitting to what everybody's looking for.
Here's one thing, and I understand the logic, I guess you'd call it logic, but there's an article in paper today about it. Editorial, probably. Because that's the only thing I read is the editorial page. Front page, editorial page. Front and back, done. The guy was saying that, okay, they've come out there, and he was saying that it's more plausible that these are just Chinese or Russian drones or aircraft that can reach 5 times the speed of sound than it would be that they're aliens or anything like that.
And our spy agencies don't know anything about them, and
that would be point one. Point two is, okay, now I'm an old, born in the 60s, so, I'm Cold War warrior. I cannot imagine if either one of them had something that could fly 5 times the speed of sound, they could not wait to hand our asses to us. I'm sorry. Yeah. I watched Red Dawn. Twice. Both versions.
I watched, what was it, Firefox, where we went over there and stole a jet they had? So I can't imagine if that's actually, we wouldn't be trying to do that. We certainly wouldn't be, not scrambling jets if they saw them over the U.S. airspace.
Yeah. And for the record, Jake Godbold, guy gets drunk, goes out in the woods, and sees weird lights, aliens. No, screw you. This is the Navy. With pictures and videos and shit like that. Anyway, back to Steve Coles. Steve is a licensed paranormal investigator in New York. He has a lifelong fascination with the Bigfoot phenomenon since an early age. Steve began his quest first in 1998, seeking knowledge from other researchers in the field. In 2021, Steve is employing multiple technologies in his years-long studies on primate habitation and behavior to observe possible audio, photographic evidence, track castings, and DNA. He's authored 3 books, 50 Large, What Would Sasquatch Do, and the Sasquatch Playbook. He's appeared on Fox News, the History Channel, National Geographic Channel, Travel Channel, Destination America, blah, 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 yeah. featured on several programs and has been in print in over 200 newspapers worldwide. And he does Sasquatch Radio. The rest of it just bores me. Yeah, no, when it comes to Bigfoot people, there's not a whole lot of people with more heft, if you will, than Steve Coles. Hell of a good guy. And I'm really
I like the fact that he's a PI, so he brings a lot of, real world investigative experience and techniques to it, as opposed to just watching a TV show and going out in the woods. He's got the criteria to be to actually have some clout in this. So it's always interesting to hear what he has to say in his perspectives.
Now okay, listen to this entire thing. Don't cut me off like women do. Steve and I have a lot in common. Now, that being said, he's 10 times smarter than I am. That's not my point. I believe in ghosts and all this stuff. You know this. I mean, I do tarot card readings. I believe in all the spiritual stuff. But people send me videos and saying, "Is this a ghost?" And I always say no. I always find some excuse to say no. And I think I hurt their feelings a lot of times, but it's just like, I don't. Most of the answer is, how the hell would I know? But I don't. He's really good at debunking, is what I'm getting at, and so he takes what other people turn in as Bigfoot photographs and stuff, and he's really, really good at it. And I like to think that I'm similar in that fashion in debunking ghost videos.
I agree. And talking to him here, talking to him at conventions before, he brings while it's clear that he's enthusiastic and a believer, he brings a very real world or down to earth perspective to it, as far as he's not going to jump on every twig breaking in the woods and say, well that was it, hollering at us. He's gonna he actually bases what he looks at as on actual evidence or at least real questions. So like I said, out of the crypto speakers and stuff, I really enjoy him. He's one of my favorites.
All the times I spoke to him, I've listened to his podcast a couple times. Never got to hear one of his speeches at Scarefest. Never.
I don't know if I've seen one at Scarefest, but I've seen him from other places where so.
Now, before we got just a couple minutes before we go to break, so I'm not going to go on with the next speaker announcement. I am, however, going to tell you we've changed our plans a little bit on doing the speakers. Because the COVID restrictions were lifted, we now have more floor space than we know what to do with, basically. So we've decided, if you've seen one of the maps, the part that was cordoned off for photo ops, we've decided to actually move that out into an adjacent hallway. Now we're going to take a corner of the convention center, put up little air walls, they call it, I think, where they drag the thing in and put up some shit around the outside of it so you can't just walk in and out. But anyway, the speakers will now be speaking actually on the convention center floor. So they will be handy. You will not have to cross the street to see at least one of their presentations. Now, that being said, the original plan was, well, actually, secondary plan. The original plan was to have them in the theater. Skip that. But we were going to, the bar, the bourbon bar on the corner. We were actually going to have our speakers over there because they have a TV and big screen TV that's like the size of my house.
And say this year, then I was going to see all of the speakers.
Because you were going to hang out in the bar all weekend, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, you keep telling yourself that. But the point is, now they will have the option. They can, in addition to speaking on the floor, they can give the same speech again across the street at a different time, or they can give a second speech, whatever they want to do. So we are going to be running speakers now in two locales. So you'll have still the opportunities to see your favorite speakers through the course of the weekend, and you may not even have to leave the building, which is always good.
Yeah, it'd be much more convenient and easier to find for everybody. While it's a wonderful facility across the street, it was going to be a trek if you wanted to go over and see a speaker real quick and get in line to get your next autograph. So that'll be more convenient for that. That
is the biggest drawback during the day, is like you said, because we were allocated an hour, or you'd have to leave. Yeah, you're right. But I just know people go, "Where's that at?" And I was going to stand there and go, "Okay, you know where you're parked? Behind that." Simple enough. Everybody, commercial break. We'll be right back, and we'll do our announcements.
Spirit Mechanics is here to help. Their background includes many different specialties across the metaphysical spectrum, including alchemy, shamanism, Celtic witchcraft, angelic magic, astral travel, and more.
With over 30 years combined experience in the group, you can be confident in their ability to help. If there is a question you have that you cannot answer, they will do their best to assist you.
Metaphysics can be intimidating, confusing, and unfortunately, abused. Spirit Mechanics takes pride in being selfless in the pursuit of helping others, being humble and honest with their clients about their questions, and lastly, maintaining a professional and personable atmosphere. They want you to feel as you are coming to a close friend, and they will do everything in their power to make you comfortable and safe.
TellMeTarot.com. Rare tarot and oracle decks for the discerning enthusiast or collector. Odd decks are not for everyone. If you are a rare deck collector, art collector, or simply fall in love with a deck, then we might be for you. Right now, get 10% off your first order just for subscribing to their newsletter. Shipping is just $5.99 in the United States. TellMeTarot.com.
And our first celebrity announcement for Scarefest 2021 of tonight. Lou Temple. You remember we had him booked for Scarefest 2020, the lost year. Well, Lou is coming back. We had basically he was booked at another convention, and then they said, why haven't you booked us? And we said, well, you're booked over there. And they said, no, we're not. And so they decided not to, they wanted to come to Scarefest, so they went with their original contract, Lou Temple. And you know him from Devil's Rejects, of course, Walking Dead, the season, I don't remember what season it was. The one they were in the prison, and he basically got his head blown off. But hell of a nice guy. We've had him on the show. A lot of fun. A Southern gentleman. And next up, Vincent Ward, also of The Walking Dead, also of Scarefest TV. He's let's see, I got him pulled up here. I've only seen a couple of Vincent's movies, and well, they're not going to load. I know it's not the ones on his banner though. It was about UFOs. He was in Death House, but he's done Encounter. Maybe it was Encounter. Big Freaking Rat. That will be next for him on my watch list. That sounds like the kind of movie I like. Lost in the Pacific. The trailer kind of turned me off, and I told him to his face. It looked odd, but anyway. And Live Evil. That was one he had just done when he was on the show, wasn't it? I'm sure it was out yet. But yeah, Live Evil. So he's got some movies under his belt. But Vincent Ward of Walking Dead fame. He was booked for 2020. He's coming in 2021, and damned excited about it. And just for your photo opportunities, and I need to add to the banner, representing the Lost Limb Foundation. The Mystery Machine, the original Mystery Machine that was, what's the word I'm looking for? Hanna-Barbera actually paid to have this thing made. In other words, this is from the studio. The Hanna-Barbera had this Mystery Machine commissioned. That's the word I was looking for. It will be there for your photo opportunities at Scarefest 13. Don't forget, tickets are on sale now. Tickets on sale. Go to thescarefest.com. Click the ticket link. And while you're there, go ahead and reserve your space to throw axes with killers. That's a couple of hours locked in a room with sharp objects and famous movie killers. You will not get better quality time. There's just no way you can do better than throwing axes with them. And then this weekend, the Central Kentucky Mystical Market. Central Kentucky Mystical Market is going on. We will have Scarefest swag there, Scarefest 2020 swag there, and it will be on sale. We're getting ready to close out the 2020 merchandise, so if you'd like a sweatshirt or something like that, we do have my phone. I've got an announcement on my phone that I promised a woman I was going to announce it. Don't have a banner. Go ahead and click that one over. But yeah, this weekend, Mystical Market, Clarion Hotel, Lexington, Kentucky. CentralKentuckyMysticalMarket.com. Film festival entries are open. Film festival entries are open. Go to we've had a little surge of activity. It's funny, everybody waits for the entry fees to go up $5, and then they come on and they start uploading the movies. Film festival entries are open. Filmfreeway.com/thescarefest. You go there, or you can just go to thescarefest.com, click the link, and Lex Live. The selected movies will be shown at an actual movie theater at Lex Live during the day, and the best of the best will be shown and get a second showing during prime time of the evening. And stop by the Scarefest gift shop, scarefestradio.com. And then I do want to remind everybody, our speaker application process is closed. So we're done with that. Here we go. This, let's see, it's Saturday evening, June 26th, Paintsville, Kentucky, starting at 7 p.m. Doors open at 6. The world premiere make sure that's the Fifth Holler Season 2. I want to make sure I did season right. Fifth Holler Season 2. Now, if you remember back on Scarefest TV, we showed you Season 1 last spring. So yeah, Fifth Holler, locally filmed, locally financed. I can't believe she financed it out of pocket. But anyway, hired a couple actual real-to-life actors and everything. But Season 2, it is in Paintsville, Saturday, June 26th. Public event. Only $10 for adult, $5 for 13 and under. So if you're in the Paintsville area, check that out. Support local filmmaking, independent filmmaking. They put a lot of hard work into that. All right. Back to speaker announcements.
One more thing before we go into that, Wes, if you don't mind. Just remind everybody to join Patreon so that you can judge the film festival. Don't miss your opportunity to see some of this before it gets to Scarefest and give your input. And don't forget, hotels are almost booked up.
Yes, so now that's the important thing. Now, the Patreon thing, yes, I'd love everybody to subscribe. I've not been uploading very, so you've not been charged. We didn't, once we got to upload more movies, or get the links ready, we upload them when we can, or sometimes we give you the link. It depends on the platform. Point is, you can join Patreon right now, and you will not be billed for the month of June. Not going to do it. Not going to do it.
Double charging for his OnlyFans page, though.
Yeah, that's right, because I look so hot when I'm sweaty like that. Hey, and that picture from the Mystical Market last month? You blur me, everybody. If you blur this out just a little bit, I'm a damn good-looking fella. Anyway, yeah, but get your hotels. If you're wanting to stay for Scarefest, you better get your hotels. Selling out quickly. Gavin and Paula Kelly making skeptics believers. Ghostology 101 and presenting the teaser of Truth or Legends in your hometown. Paranormal evidence, fake or real, and the do's and don'ts while investigating, plus presenting the first episode of Truth or Legends in your hometown from Season 1, only seen right now on Paraflex and Roku. Their bio. Did you read their bio?
I did. I know exactly what you're talking about.
We are called the Paranormal Sweethearts.
I thought that's what we were, Wes.
I know. We should trademark that. We should go ahead and trademark that and sue them for everything they have. We are called the Paranormal Sweethearts, husband and wife paranormal team based out of Paducah, Kentucky. We got our start in the paranormal back in 2012. Got bit by the investigating bug, and we've been investigating locations all over the United States. Gavin and Paula Kelly, making skeptics believers. So there. You got a question from the chat room? Okay, to answer Eric's question in the chat room, when you're on Patreon, you just go back through the post, the post for our Patreon page, and every now and then you'll see a link that says Thursday Night Dead. Click that link, it will tell you how to watch, where and how to watch the movie, and you can help us judge the contest. So, well, you don't actually vote, you leave comments. That's what he's asking, how to vote. What we're doing is, we've got our judges, and that's all the judges do. We talk about the movies amongst ourselves and say, that one sucks, that one doesn't. And so far, most of our feature-length films have been pretty darn good, except for, honestly, the couple foreign entries I wasn't crazy about, and one that was completely off genre that was a good movie. It just really, to me, it doesn't fit. And I got to talk, one of the other judges thinks it's good enough because it's so well made. That will be a discussion to be had. That being said, that's what we're looking for. You go on Patreon, then we tell you to comment on the Patreon post your impressions of the movie. We've already got somebody saying, hey, this guy's good enough for Best Actor. And that's something that will play into how we do the judging for the Scarefest Film Festival. In other words, our Patreon subscribers have pretty much as much pull as any judge. It goes into the pot. We look at all the comments, decide who to invite and what awards to give. Scott Tepperman's supposed to be uploading his movie this weekend, so I haven't checked yet to see if it's there, but
I think it's an amazing opportunity for everybody to get in there and participate like that. So
there's that, and also you get to see the Scarefest Film Festival without leaving the building. See, we're making this so damn easy, people. So damn easy. But I do like the idea. I thought that was my idea, by the way, about having people. This gives the because last year pretty much Brandon judged. I was a judge, but I didn't even make it through all the entries. So this spreads it out. Now this year it's me, Brandon, Thompson, Tim Thompson. And he knows a lot more about movies than I do. And Joe, Bonehead, he's the judge. So, we're the official judges, and then we got the Patreon input. So yeah, patreon.com/scarefestradio. Okay, excuse me. Bluegrass Ghost Hunters. Is that the one Meredith told me that I should have on the show? Bluegrass Ghost Hunters, Kentucky Hauntings. And they would like to talk about different hauntings in Kentucky, especially places that may not be well known. We would go over the history of these places and show examples of evidence that we've captured. The Bluegrass Ghost Hunters are a paranormal group that travels all over Kentucky and surrounding states investigating for ghosts and other paranormal activity. Several of the members have been investigating for several years and have taken others under their wing to teach about this paranormal world. That would be interesting just to find, because I know there's more haunted places than you hear about on TV. I mean,
yeah, and I'm sure there are. I'm very interested to hear that. I'm also interested in our last speaker that's from Paducah, the Sweethearts, because I don't hear as much from Western Kentucky. So I'm very interested to hear what they have to say about that, to kind of expand my knowledge on that part of the state. But yeah, the Bluegrass Ghost Hunters, I'm looking forward to hearing what spots they've got that aren't as publicized. Because Kentucky's got a whole lot of pretty famous locations now that have been hit by all the TV shows and places the locals go to. So it's very interesting looking very forward to hearing what they have to say about it.
Everything paranormal has a Kentucky connection. Remember, you heard it here. Everybody will be right back with more Scarefest TV.
Mama Ruby offers fun vendor-based events that focus primarily on the metaphysical and spiritual aspects of our lives. Well, 2020 didn't go as planned, to say the least. Since Mama Ruby's can't bring the vendors to you in person, they still encourage you to support them online. For links to these and other outstanding artists, craftspeople, vendors, and psychics, visit mamarubys.com and click shop.
Hey, Scarefest fans, it's Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly. We're talking zombies, and this one's on Netflix. It's a Netflix exclusive from that man who gave us such great films as Batman versus Superman and the Justice League. Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead. Army of the Dead. All right. So this review is going to be a little different. It's got Dave Bautista in it, Garen Dillon, Tig Notaro, some people I really like, some good actors. Theo Rossi, who I've actually met and spent some time with. This movie's so dumb. So anyway, it gives a few cliches. It kind of turns them on their head. You know, the zombie thing could have started at Area 51. It could have been caused by oral sex. It's a long story. Watch the movie. Anyway, and Dave Bautista is one of the guys who got out of when the zombie outbreak happens in Las Vegas. They end up closing Las Vegas. He was in Las Vegas. Him and a few other people got out. They're considered heroes because they saved this one person, whomever it is. Later, we find out that the president is going to nuke Las Vegas because all the zombies are in there and do away with that completely. It makes sense. Rich business person who owned one of the casinos says, hey, the insurance paid me off, but there's still $200 million stuck in my casino. I want you to sneak in, steal the money. I give you $50 million of it, and I keep the 150. And Dave Bautista assembles a strike team to do that, and they go in to steal it, and every damn cliche you can think of happens. And even worse, not only are the cliches terrible, not only is it acting awful, and I like Dave Bautista. I actually think he's a talented guy. If you don't think he's a talented guy, you watch Blade Runner 2049. Seriously, the little scene he's in it, he was amazing, but he's just miscast. And some of these people are dreadful, and the dialogue is dreadful. And then on top of that, so there's this thing called like Chekhov's gun or something, where if you introduce a pistol in the first act and in the third act or second act, somebody's going to get shot by the gun, and then it plays out. So they're walking into the place, and there's all these mummified zombies laying there in the mud. And someone says, oh my God. And he goes, yeah. If it rains, you know, they start twitching and moving again. You think, it's going to rain in Vegas before they get out of here, before the nuclear bomb drops and they get the money. It never does. There's a half a dozen things in this movie that never pay off, that they just introduce and go, never going to see that. This movie is dreadful, but I kind of liked it, even though it sucks. The problem is, let's remove all the shit I just said. Let's remove the terrible acting, the terrible dialogue, the screenplay that goes nowhere. Or here, let me blow something for you. The movie goes nowhere. No one gets anything of really what they want. But it's 2.5 hours long. No zombie movie, unless Romero directed it, Dawn of the Dead, should be 2.5 hours long. There's no reason for it to be. A lot of people crap on Zack Snyder now. I don't want to. I actually kind of like 2/3 of his Watchmen film. His Dawn of the Dead is a great movie. Just should have never been called Dawn of the Dead. And he gave us 300. 300 changed a lot of things for better or for worse than the way we see movies from that point on. However, this movie's not great. But I'm not telling you not to watch it. If you like zombies, if you're one of those people that still is into The Walking Dead, I stopped watching The Walking Dead years ago. But if you're still into zombies and you're not just bored to tears of them, then this movie's not bad. I think some of the makeup's not great. The lead zombie, you can clearly see some of the shots does it no favors of kind of seeing the white where they didn't blend it well. And I don't know why they didn't fix that shit with CGI later. Even with all that, I'm not saying that you shouldn't watch this. If you've got Netflix and you're into horror, there's some pretty good scenes in it, but it's just a bad movie. Even for people who really like it, I want you to come explain this to me. Because when it came out, people's like, why are everybody shitting on this movie? It's because it sucks. I enjoyed it. So I'm telling you that this movie isn't any good, but I kind of enjoyed it for what it is. Army of the Dead, Zack Snyder, Netflix. Check it out if you really like zombies and you do not give two shits about plot, dialogue, feasibility, good filmmaking, any of those things. Then this is the movie for you. This has been Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly.
And welcome back, everybody, to the last few minutes of Scarefest TV. Me and Chad Harlan are bringing you the 2021 third round of speaker announcements. As I was saying during the commercial break, this is the year of the hot seminar speakers. Claire Heaney, and she's bringing her dad though, so it ain't like I can flirt with her or anything. Claire Heaney, Father Bob Heaney. Family Dynamics, Adam Family, and versus the Munsters. Claire Heaney is a family sitcom enthusiast who adores Halloween and studies family sciences. What better way to discuss the unanswered question, Munsters versus the Addams Family?
And timely, with Rob Zombie getting ready to redo the Monsters.
I think he's going to jack that up so bad it's not even going to be recognizable. I'll say it.
I'm afraid to, but I'm hopeful. He's a big fan of the franchise, so yeah, I'm hoping he treats it right.
I'm sorry. When his first casting announcement was his wife, it was like everyone went, yeah. Okay, now, once again, makes great movies. You're absolutely right. But I don't see, maybe I'm not familiar enough with his body of work to see how that's going to play into good, wholesome family stuff. Like
you're assuming it's going to be wholesome and family oriented.
I'm saying that's the tradition. The tradition. Anyway, next speaker. Not falling into the hot female category. Bud Gennis. Bud Gennis, Jack the Ripper, the king of serial killers. From a very young age, Bud Gennis has had an intense fascination with the legendary blood fiend of Whitechapel, Jack the Ripper. I didn't know he was a paranormal researcher. Bud Gennis has been a paranormal researcher for over 20 years. His macabre interests include hauntings, a philosophy of ghosts in the afterlife, and the deviant psychology of serial killers. Fun on a date. Anyway, so yeah, Bud Gennis will be speaking about Jack the Ripper. Now, to round out our selection of hot female speakers, Christina Keefer and William Americ, I hope I said his name right, Men in Black and UFOs. Christina, of course, was on the show. She did a, basically, they were shopping a TV series with her and some other people, and never got to see it, so it didn't come to fruition, but Christina is a well-experienced paranormal investigator. The history and lore of the Men in Black and their connection with UFOs. Of course, William, he was bishop and owner of the Church of Rock and Roll at ATL Radio X. Producer, paranormal investigator, writer.
Amazing topics this year. I mean, it's always a thrill to get to see the speakers at Scarefest. This year is going to be a particularly interesting bunch, so I'm looking forward to it.
I think, not saying you're wrong, I'm saying that I think we've done exceptional the last roughly 3 years. Since Scarefest 10 forward, we've kind of moved out of the, let me show you my ghost photo stuff and got into some more diverse topics. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
And now somebody, I don't see it on the page here, but somebody was even going to talk. Oh, I know. Nicole sent it to me. We've actually got an independent filmmaker who's going to talk about making independent horror films. So there's that. Can't announce it till it's official, but
it's
I do
something for
say,
everybody. Like you said, it's a more diverse range of topics than just horror panels and like you said, ghost. Look at my ghost pictures and tell me about this one location. It's very diverse, and it's getting more and more interesting topics. And like I said, I always look forward to it. I wish I could attend every one of them.
Well, now this year y'all might be able to, because we are going. The plans are, which I gotta have a meeting about this because I don't think anybody's prepared. We've actually had a couple companies contact us about streaming the convention, and that's assuming we didn't do it through the company we'd originally talked to. But the point is, our plans are to stream the convention live as far as the speaker seminars, some floor stuff, even the movie, the film festival. But the speakers, they will be recorded this year. We will see that happens, which they get recorded every year, and then the videos disappear. But this year, they should be streamed. And actually, the idea is to stream them actually where you could just, if you wanted to, just stand in the corner of the convention and not actually even go to the other end of it. They should be on closed circuit TVs even. But if not, we'll have them on a some type of platform where you can log in, see your speakers. They will be archived. So you don't have to miss them this year.
Great.
See? Because we both have all this free time on our hands to watch. I am so far behind on the film festival. I have not watched half of the entries, and now they're starting to pour in as they do. I've got to do a lot of catching up on watching film festival entries and get that done. Everybody, that's our show for tonight. We give you the speakers. We've got Vincent M. Ward and Lou Temple coming to the Scarefest. So we've had our celebrity announcements. It's been an important show. Even though we did not have Tiffany Shepis on this week.
Yeah, I don't think she could handle 2 weeks of you.
I don't think I can handle 2 weeks of her. She's tough nut now. She went toe to toe with me. Except I am going to clip out the part where what was it? She was she wanted to know, what did I mean by speakers? And she kind of threw me, and I'm like, people who speak. And she's... So anyway, so that's our show. We'll be back next week. Don't forget, this weekend, the Central Kentucky Mystical Market. Stop by, see all the readers and local artisans and craftspeople and just all kinds of stuff. Go to centralkymysticalmarket.com. Look at the vendor list. If you're not sure you want to go look at the vendor list. You will see that they've got, and join their Facebook group. That's the way you can actually find out what the vendors sell. But Central Kentucky Mystical Market going on tomorrow and Sunday. Tomorrow it starts at 10 a.m. Sunday starts at noon because everybody likes to sleep in on Sunday. But everybody, we'll see you next week. Thanks, Chad.
Thank you all.